Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, in the previous sessions we talked about document databases, and we said that in the document database the format of data is in key value format. Key value format is the main format of the documents in the document database. Most of the databases that are in this type of database, which is document database, they have the key value format. For example, MongoDB is one of the most famous document databases. In the in the MongoDB, the data is in the format of key values. Um, in the document database, we have a database which okay, we said that the data is stored in the format of documents, and as I said, the main format for document is the key value format. Uh, but we have another format of data too, which is the XML format. XML is another format of documents in the document database. XML is uh, is a document which in this document data is stored in tags. Data is stored in tags. For example, here you see that okay, we have a data Ali. Ali is a student, and this is a tag. Okay, this is called a tag. This is a start tag. This is an end tag. Okay, so uh, these are tags. Okay, this is the data. The data is Ali, and these are tags. The start tag and the end tag. Okay, this is an example of XML document about a customer. Okay, you see that the attributes that we have is customer ID, name, address, first order, and last order. These are the attributes. As you see, all of the attributes are inside tags. This is a start tag. This is the end tag. And the data is between these tags. Okay, the ID, the name, the street name, the city name, the state name, the zip code, the first order of the customer, and the last order of the customer. Okay, in the XML document we have a tree structure. Okay, this is a feature of the XML document. Okay, for example, you see here that we have a books. Books is the start tag here, and inside book, okay, we have some tags which are book ID, author, title, year. Okay, this book inside the books. This book is a tag inside the books tag, and the author is inside the book. Okay, it's similar to the embedded document that we had in the document database. Okay, here we could have tags. Tags are inside other tags sometimes, and this is a tree structure that we have for the XML document. Okay, so we have a tree structure for the XML document, and tags are inside other tags in the XML document. You see here that these are the data, okay? For example, the author name, the, the title of the book, and the year, okay? These are some data that are inside tags, and tags are inside other tags. This is another example of an XML document, and you see here that we have some elements in this document. This in a XML document, this is a processing instrument. Okay, it means that it is something that is added at the first of at the start of the XML document, and this is called an element. It means the tags with the data. The tag with the data is called an element. This is the open tag, dblp here, for example. It's called the open tag, and that's the close tag. As I said, the start tag and the end tag. Also, we have attributes. Okay, each tag could have some attribute. For example, here, article is the tag, and mdate is an attribute. Okay, so we could put some of the data inside the attributes. Okay, we could put some of the data inside the attributes. So here, article is the tag, editor is a tag, title is a tag. Okay, these are the tags that we have here, and these some of these tags have attributes. For example, mdate is an attribute here for the tag article. Okay, in XML, okay, we have two kinds of data items. Okay, in XML we have two kinds of data items. As we said, we have some elements. These are the elements. For example, this article and this. Okay, we start with the article and we end with this end tag. This is the start tag, and this is the start tag, and this is the end tag. And okay, and in the elements we have a hierarchical structure, as we said, that we have some tags that are inside other tags, and as we said, these elements could have some attributes. This mdate here is an attribute, and some okay, we could have some elements with the same name. The order of the element is important. The order of the elements is important, and each element, it could have some attribute. Okay, and the attribute don't have a hierarchical structure. It means that we can't have attributes inside other attributes. And each attribute could okay, we could have one attribute with that name. For example, if we have an element with two attributes, they should have different names. We couldn't have the same name for multiple attributes, but for elements we could have the same name, as we said here. And here, order doesn't matter. Order of the attribute is not important, but for the elements the order is important. These are some features of XML components. Well, one of the other important things about XML document is the syntax. of XML document. Okay, the syntax. The syntax of XML document, it means the format, the format of XML document. Okay, uh, the data that we have in the XML document, it has a syntax that we should, this syntax should be done in the data that we have. So this is very important. And we could define this syntax. Okay, we could define the syntax of the XML document and then validate it. The syntax means the structure. It means the tags that we have. Okay, the syntax means the tags that we have, the attributes inside the tag, the type of the data of each tag. All of these are the syntax or the structure. Okay, so here the structure means the order and the tree structure of tags, and the syntax means the type of the data. Okay, both of these are important. The structure of the XML document, what are the tags, and what is the tree structure of the tag, and the type of the data. This is important too. Okay, XML schema. XML schema is a tool that could be used to define this syntax. For okay, it is a method for defining and validating the structure and syntax of XML document. Okay, with this XML schema, we could define the structure and syntax of an XML document. Okay, for example, if we have this XML document, okay, for example, here you see that we have some tags. This is the first tag, note. This is the second tag, to, from, the heading, and the body. These are the tags that we have here, and this is the data that are inside these tags, text data. Okay, so so we have this XML document, and then using the XML schema, we could define the structure of this document. Okay, this is a XML schema. Okay, XML schema is something like this. We have to define this. In XML schema, the tags start with this XS. In the XML schema, the tags. Okay, so XML document is a file. Okay, we have another file for XML schema. We have to define this file. Okay, in this file we have this content inside it. Okay, this XS is these are some tags that we have here. All of the tags start with XS. Okay, here you see that it says XS element name note. Okay, what was note? This was note here. Okay, so we are defining the structure. Then it says XS complex type, XS sequence. Then here are the other elements inside note, to, from, heading, body. Okay, to, from, heading, body. So in the XML schema, we are defining the structure and also the type of the data. Here you see the type, a string. Okay, you see here, this is a string. Ali is a string. Okay, so we have this document, which is an XML schema, and in the XML schema we have this content. So we are defining the structure. we are defining the structure of the XML document using this XML schema. Okay, so this is an example of a XML schema document. So we use XML schema to define the structure and the syntax of the document. Okay, so here in this example, you see how could we use and how could we relate the XML document with the XML schema. You see here that here we have defined this file, okay, note.xsd. This is the XML schema file, and we have related it to the XML document. Inside the tag note, okay, we have this attribute that it says that where is the schema, okay, where is the schema file. So the schema is defining the structure and the syntax of the document. So this is an example of an XML document and the XML schema. As I said, XML is another format for the document in the document database. Okay, you will see that in the document database, this XML schema is used in the document database, which is based on XML documents. Okay, so this is very important. Presentation of XML document. Okay, so we have an XML document. The data is inside the XML document. We have an XML schema. The XML schema defines the structure of the XML document. Okay, and then the next thing is how do we want to present this data? If we want to show this data somewhere, how do we present it? This is the next concept we have in XML. It is called XSL. XSL, Extensible Style Sheet Language. This is another tool in XML. XSL is used to convert the XML document to another format. For example, we want to use the convert the XML data into HTML format. Okay, we could use XSL to convert our data from XML to HTML format. So XSL is a tool for formatting and representing XML documents. XSL is a tool for formatting and representing XML documents. Okay, I will talk about the rest of this subject in the next sessions. Thank you very much.